Game 2 starts into the bottom right. We have the Casper player here, one on Entombed Valley, pulled his probes, his SCVs, went for the attack, and then with the synchronized stimming, he took his opponent down. This is STX.
STX Soul, Focus.
Heaven is so good at that.
Sometimes get a little bit
Look
seasick.
at that keyboard, by the way. He's got as few of those keys switched.
And here we have his opponent. Nah, he might be a little bit sad this time, but his ID still is.
LGIM Happy.
I'm not quite sure if I can take all this pressure with Happy every single time. You know, you see his nickname and you know that everyone expects a pun. You try to come up with one and then it's so unbelievably lame and you're like, ah.
Well, you know, another way to introduce Happy, I've done this in the past, is you just say not to confuse him with, and then list all the other programmers who use the ID Happy. You can even mention, notable mention, Happy Zerg, who isn't even a Terran player.
Yeah, but then the game might already be over.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. It does take a long time to mention all those
It's the same with Hero. Hero's even worse. How many heroes do we have right now? 4?
I think actually there's 5, at least.
And then you can count on get players like Hero Marine.
Yeah.
That would make it like 6, I think.
Yeah, 6, I guess.
It's a bit, yeah, overwhelming, I would say.
Well,
You
those
actually can't just lose track.
SCVs you could say are a little bit more refined than the other ones, as they have been touching that gas quite a bit.
I see what you did there.
They went gas first. They're kind of ahead of the curve. They're gonna say, you know what? I'm buying Vespene gas before the expansion. Okay. And
You get an achievement for that?
yeah, and they're like, excuse me, Wolf. Excuse me. They come out with their like striped shirts and they're like, actually, I mined it before the barracks was made. I'm like, whoa, I'm so sorry.
You're so cool, SCV.
Yeah.
You're the coolest SCV out there.
I wouldn't want to fall down in there. That looks dangerous.
Yeah. But to the
I'm
right
getting a
side,
little bit scared.
Yeah, but you know, it's a little bit like when you go to Tasmania. On one hand of the island, you have the beaches. On the other hand, you have cliffs and mountains. Because on Ohana, if you go to the right side, there are a couple of waterfalls. There is even a campfire.
Yeah, that's where you want to take your family.
Exactly. Which is funny as it is, what Ohana means.
Exactly. Yeah. I've known this for quite some time.
We never really talked about it.
Yeah, I never really was sure if I had told anybody or not. But I guess just to say it, this map's name does mean family.
And don't you get this warm feeling every single time that it appears on the
absolutely. Every time I get invited, I feel like so much more happy than I do when I get invited to that family dinner party, because I know the family dinner party's name isn't Ohana.
Yeah, but it feels like you're coming home.
It feels like you're coming home. You feel like you might meet your father for the first time even. You just don't know. It's a big surprise.
Yeah, it always is. But well, a surprise might also be the strategy that Happy is going for now. We have him with his Starport. He will of course go here, not for the Banshee, but for the Medivac, as he didn't at the Tech Lab earlier. But he can follow it up still with the Banshee a little bit later. Bogus, he took his gas after the barracks, but Happy is a little bit faster with his tech, so let's see what Bogus is going to do. If he starts with the Viking, then he will definitely be able, well, he might be able, if he catches the Medivac, to just shut this aggression of Happy down completely. And once again, synchronize Marines at the ramp. And this time, this was definitely a 9 out of 10. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was sick.
They didn't even flinch.
Not a single flinch. They must have been pricing that for months.
Yeah, I think so.
Look at that. Even the new Marine knows how to do it. Oh, wow. Well, Cloak comes out here. It's the follow-up. Happy has a 2-step plan here. Step 1 is to go for the Hellion Marine drop, TLO style, from the beta. And then plan part 2 is to come in with Banshees and clean up the rest. If he can kill a lot of Marines here, that's exactly what he wants.
This Viking is not going to be there in time.
Yeah, not quite. Well, if he goes all the way around the bottom left, maybe, just maybe, he can shut this down.
But Bogus has too much. He has a lot of Hellions, he has Marines. I don't think that it's going to be a big problem. Of course, if Happy can take down the Marines and the Banshee moves in, that's going to be a different story.
Yeah, and here comes the drop. He actually just drops it after natural. There's nothing here, though. And here's the Viking and the Marines together.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed.
He's going to lose everything.
Yeah.
Potentially.
If he just chases down the Medivac with the Hellions on the low ground, he's not going to do it, though.
Yeah, the Marines will make sure that the Viking is not getting too overly aggressive. But Cloak is nearly done.
Yeah, and something to think about is that even though he didn't do damage there, Bogus has, or really, even though he didn't lose his units, Bogus has a command center, he doesn't.
Yeah, Happy is just now building his double CC actually.
Oh, wow. And double Vikings to greet him.
Cloak is just done just in time.
All it's going to take is a scan. And he's got 2 scans.
Yes, two.
He doesn't even use it because he knows he has the turret. So smart.
The turret reveals it, and now this Banshee is gone without doing any damage at all. Cloak being completely useless. Happy starts a Raven, but this game is already starting in favor of Bogus. He is at 30 SCVs to 23, saturating 2 mineral lines. All the aggression of Happy was immediately shut down, and if you go for a gas first build, that's the one thing you have to do. You have to do some damage.
And so far, Bogus just seems impervious. No matter what attack hits him, he's fine, and he's doing it again. The SCVs come.
The pain train is on its way. Bogus starting to hit this timing. Here comes the scan.
This feels very Kespa-Terran-esque. The Banshee does survive a little bit longer, but he's not concerned about harassment with the SCVs. His SCVs aren't even mining.
There's nothing. There are few
Not
Hellions.
even close to enough here, it doesn't seem.
Oh my god. And he loses a lot of the Hellions. He doesn't even lift his supply depots here or anything. The choke point works in favor of Bogus. Happy is losing so much. The overall only supply is now 17 to 22.
He could
Bogus
land the
still
Vikings.
doing damage.
And he does land them.
But Bogus loses a lot here.
The Banshee is still alive over on the right side as well, but all these SCVs are not going to be useful in a fight. And that is where the supply difference really lies here.
We have only 9 SCVs left for Bogus. This is the bigger story. 21 for Happy. Actually, this attack that looked so promising for Bogus is completely shut down. Yes, he kills fewer additional units, but now we look at 9 harvesters, 2 bases against 22 and 3 orbitals. Happy defended.
Yeah, this game is not going to go on too much longer one way or the other. Both of them at even units, literally. 2 Hellions, 1 Viking, 2 Marines, both players exact same unit counts, and Bogus just cannot afford to make units like Happy can. He's making 2 Hellions, 3 SCVs, a Marine, and a Raven. Bogus is in a lot of trouble.
At first it looked like the choke point is really working in Bogus' favor when he walked up the ramp and Happy started to go back with all his SCVs. But then he pulled back a little bit, and suddenly this one concave that he had on top with Bogus moving into the funnel worked in favor of Happy. Those Hellions did so much damage, especially to the SCVs. All of them evaporated. Now we have a 20 supply lead for Happy. This looks incredible for him. I mean, this is now his game to lose.
Yeah, he's got the insane economy to back up his production, and he's going to be making, right now he's making 2 additional factories. Bogus can't even afford a meal for his family, and that's so sad.
Yeah. He could actually, I mean, he could go to Gringotts now and try to take out a loan.
Yeah, he could try to do that. I have to say, though, his family is not very widely respected.
Yeah, it's not like your family. I mean, the Malfoys really have a lot of power.
We certainly do. And if you don't think so, I'll tell my father about it.
No, please don't.
And this is a really good engagement for Bogus, though. He's going to catch these Hellions unaware. This is how I like to fight, man.
Nice, dirty.
Yeah.
Nice split here for Bogus. He saves a lot of these Hellions.
Take your advantages where you've got them, man, and use them. That's how it's done. The base of Bogus just looks awkward, messy. It looks like something that Ron Weasley's family would actually put together. It's just, it's kind of poor. It's a little bit shambly. You've got, not a lot of extra production. And it's like you look at the base here and it looks like something,
Well, you always hated the Mudbloods. Everyone knows.
I know. I've been very clear about this in the past.
Yeah, that is definitely true. But to be honest, I mean, you lost in the end, so think about that. Ha.
Well, I suppose.
I don't think that the Weasley family is going to win this game, though. With the 60 to 82 supply advantage now for Happy, we currently see him going for everything. We can see him going for Siege Tank, he goes for additional, has the air superiority, he has even Blue Flame coming up, his worker count is highly in his favor, and here comes the last stand for the Weasleys. Bogus is trying to weasel his way into his opponent's base, but it's not looking like he's able to pull through here. That's just too much. Even the Vikings are now taking charge.
He didn't even bring his SCVs. Bringing the SCVs would have helped him a lot in the fight, but it's like he felt he had something to fall back on.
This is a bogus attack.
It is totally bogus, man. This has got no chance.
Yeah. He brings the mules, man. Even the mules. They fight.
GG.
Yeah, game over. 1-1. Happy. Laying down the law.
Laying down the law, indeed.
This time he's happy, actually. Not mildly amused anymore. You know what I want? I think I mentioned it once, but in case I didn't, I want to see a new player emerge and join I Am. I want to see I'm sexy. And every time he enters the studio, I want to see I'm sexy, and I know it. As an entry song. I want to have that.
Well, we can have Sexy and I Know It. We can also have the player of the ID bringing Sexy back. That could also be a potential ID. I'm going to change my ID to Sorry. So I'm sorry we just talked about this.
Oh man. Bogus against Happy. Game 3 is going to be on Daybreak.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, the atmosphere is actually a little bit quiet right now, I feel. It's down to the wire here. We saw very aggressive SCV pulls from Bogus 2 games in a row. Game 1, it works out. Game 2, not so much. And I'm thinking we may see a repeat strategy on game number 3.
All the games were pretty fast. Every single time Bogus just tried to hit a timing with his SCVs. This time it didn't work out. Here we have him to the left.
And of course Happy to the right. Only one of these players will get that code S spot. It all comes down to game number 3 here.
I want to have this Bogus Lima pick again. Maybe we'll see it later when we are in game and
Results
see a few of the
page,
players.
probably.
Yeah, results page, exactly.
I'm thinking ahead here.
Game is about to start though. Terran versus Terran once more on Daybreak. And well, Bogus, is he going to go for another SCV timing? We're going to find out. The map has started. It's TVT. This is the 3rd game in the 3rd round of Code A. The winner will advance to Code S. The loser has to play the up and downs. Who's it going to be? They're jumping into the game right now here at the GSL with Talon Wolf.